yeah, greetings everyone. We are recording tonight, as you can see. So, and there's a lot of people that couldn't make it. They're going to watch the recorded version. So with this, Commodore Blackwell, let's kick it off. We're going to get into the details about the Commodore's rally, the BVI trip. I mean, this is going to be a fun presentation. Just going through it and working on it with many of the members and getting a lot of good input has been a great overall process. So what I'll do is, like with all meetings, we'll use PowerPoint, and Tom, you're going to help me with a few of the opening slides, but I'll just let you give some opening remarks while you're still looking at everybody.
Well, so, listen, Eric, thank you and everybody who's joined. Eric and I have been talking about this for a long time, and, we think it's just going to be a fabulous trip. And, the members are going to really love what Eric has actually put together. I can't really take credit for it. Eric, working with Rick Van Loon on this whole itinerary and getting the boats reserved, and a lot of time and effort went in. And, like I said, I can't take the credit for it. I have to give it to Eric because he's, 1,000% in. I'm going. I'm going to enjoy it, but, it's going to be just one of those vacations not to be missed. So I'll bring it back to you, Eric. And again, thank you and Claudia and Rick, who you'll introduce shortly, for, helping coordinate this whole project, if you will. That's going to come to, it's real, it's happening. And I can't say how excited I'm excited.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, thanks, Commodore. And the cruise committee has also played a role too. So it's going to take a lot of members to make this a huge success. The most important thing, though, is going to be for everybody to do two things after today's meeting, and that's book a boat or and book a flight. Just, are you seeing my the PowerPoint slides?
Yes.
Excellent. So let's get into it. This is what we're going to cover. We're going to kick it off and talk about the itinerary, which is just, for any of you who have been to the BVIs, it's just amazing. It's paradise. Then we're going to get into the charter booking process, and we'll talk about the booking of the flights as well. So right off the gate, I mean, I've been asked a lot of questions on, is this the right cruise for someone who's never chartered a boat, who's never been to the BVIs? And the answer to that question is absolutely yes. This is the perfect first charter trip. And in going with the AYC to the BVIs will be the best way to experience the BVIs. This is all about kids. It's all about the parents. As you see us going through these slides, it is paradise down there. We're going to hit so many islands. It's some of the best snorkeling in the world, some of the best beaches, great clubs, the baths. The list goes on, and we'll get into it. And just like we've said about the annual cruise, this is about lifelong memories. This is clearly one of the best ways to get to know the membership. This is what AYC is all about. And Tom, I'm just using your line here. You said to me the other day, this is going to be an epic trip. So any just comments on this, Tom, on how you see this? And we know we're going to get the veterans out. We're going to get Rick Van Loon has been to the BVI's leading cruises for 29 of the last 30 years. He only didn't go last year because he couldn't due to the pandemic. We've got people in the club who've been there 10 or 20 times. That's fantastic. But we're going to get a lot of first timers with this cruise this next year.
I can say that I was there last January with the Alexanders, and it was, right before the pandemic, and it was just absolutely amazing. It has come back after the hurricane. Things were open. It was starting to get going, rock and rolling before COVID hit. So all these restaurants and places are now, as things are easing up, just, waiting for groups like us to come on down and enjoy it. It is absolute paradise if you've never been. I've probably been down 6 or 7 times. It's, it doesn't get old. It never gets old. It's just, it's paradise, no doubt. it's just a magical place. So, thank you.
And we've had people who've gone on their honeymoons there. We don't have the Julias with us tonight, but they went on their honeymoon there. So this is the map. This is what we're going to be doing. And don't overlook at those tacks, but this is a pretty good depiction of where we'll be going. We're starting out here in Road Town, and once again, this is why it's such a great cruise for people chartering for the first time. It's point to point sailing. Every place that we go will make it possible that you can grab a mooring. You don't have to go into a dock. There'll be a couple of places that we go into docks. I mean, this is nice winds. It's good winds, but easy sailing, and something that everybody should feel confident that they can do, especially if they're going to be with the AYC fleet. So we're gonna go through all of these different ports over the next couple of slides, and then we'll come back to this chart. I want to introduce Rick Van Loon. He's going to be talking more towards the end when we get into all the specifics on how you book a boat. But I've known Rick for 25 plus years. Actually, when I was living on my sailboat, Rick runs, I think, the best sailing program in New York Harbor. I did some skippering for him and J24 races, and he's a great person. He's been leading a flotilla every year for the past 30 years, and he is local. He's local here, right out of Jersey City. Great fleet of J24s, just started up a new fleet of J29s. So welcome, Rick, and thanks for your support on this.
Sure, thank you. Very excited to help the American Yacht Club put this all together. It's epic, I think is the right word, man. I've run trips every year for would have been 30 years now, but my largest fleet was 20, and I think you may break it. So it's going to be a great time, I'm sure.
Excellent. Well, and Rick and Tom, join me as I talk about some of these particulars. But so let's just go through it. We got 8 days here, so we're going to walk you through it. Day one will be Monday, February 21st. That's when you'll fly to St. Thomas. You'll take a morning flight out of the New York, New Jersey area, or wherever you're coming from, and you'll land in St. Thomas. And then you take a taxi to the ferry dock, and then you take a ferry from St. Thomas over to Road Town, Tortola. Take a taxi to the mooring sunsail base. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And you can arrive, anytime in the afternoon to early evening. We've got a fleet of mooring and sunsail boats. The mooring boats are available at noon. The sunsail are available at 6. You're going to be able to go swimming there in a pool. We're going to have a welcome reception. It's going to be a great opening day in Road Town, and then the number of different options for dinner. One thing that we're talking about tonight, this is all directional. This is to get you excited. This is to give you an idea of what this cruise will all be about, but we're not kind of going into exact specifics that we're going to be at this restaurant or this place. We might even modify one of the destinations as we kind of work through the plans and book more of the specifics with the actual facilities. So that's day one, and I'll just just keep going. If there's a question, just jump in and please ask it. Just for flights, again, you can do a direct flight. That's great. You can do a connecting flight. So that's something you want to work through. And this cruise is from Monday, February 21st to Monday, February 28th. You can fly in early if you want, and make accommodations for yourself there in Road Town. So after we get the boats on day one, this is where it starts getting fun. The magic begins. We do this beautiful sail over to Norman Island, the Bight at Norman Island. It's a great first night stop. It's a safe anchorage, lots of moorings, and then this is where the kids and parents are going to love it. You got some amazing snorkeling at the caves. You got these are 2 pictures of the caves. There's also the Indians. Will be a picture of that later in the presentation. Here's Pirates Bight at Norman Island, and you can watch the 3-minute video. You'll see a lot of these different places in the 3-minute video.
Eric, I don't think the slides are moving.
Oh wow! Sorry about that. Thanks.
There you go.
There you go. So this is, yeah, so this is day 2. You've got 2 pictures of the caves, and you've got a picture of Pirates Bite on Norman Island, a beautiful place, beautiful beach, beautiful place for dinner. And as I was just saying, you got this amazing snorkeling. You can see that the picture of the caves, the people snorkeling in there, and you've got the famous Willie T, which is a dinghy ride away, and you go there and have a couple of drinks and jump off Willie T's and behave yourself. So that's really, it's day 2, but it's kind of day 1 where our cruising magic starts. Then it just keeps getting better. So we start island hopping as we cruise down Sir Francis Drake Channel. We've got 3 different locations here where we probably would stop at one of these for lunch. And right now we're thinking we might end up at Scrub Island for the night. You can see Scrub Island's the picture at the bottom here, an amazing resort. We could have a big dinner there, beach party on North Beach. Countless options for day 3 here. And we'll continue to kind of iterate these plans. The middle picture there is Cooper Island. I mean, Rick, I don't know if there's anything you want to add about just these different spots.
No, they're all just great options. And the great thing about the BVI, you're never going to be outside of land. You know, you could do a long hop, you could do a short hop, and you know, you could hit them all if you wanted to in the day.
So moving on here, now this is the golden part. We're getting into true paradise. Everybody, world famous baths at Virgin Gorda. As it's noted here, this geological masterpiece, these huge granite boulders, which you can explore, and there's these crystal pools, and you can spend a whole day, you know, walking around the beaches here. So this is something we would want to get to early, and if we were at Scrub Island, you would just be a quick hop, just a hop away across Sir Francis Drake Channel. So we'll be thinking through that. Again, we got all kinds of experts advising us, so we're going to make sure we do everything right. And after this morning, day at the baths, we'll sail over to North Sound Virgin Gorda, and you can see this is some of the most famous spots in the world. You've got the Bitter End Yacht Club, which is still closed due to the hurricane. And we're looking at other locations in the North Sound here. So Rick is very close to what is opening up. Is there anything else you want to share about what some of the options could be related to day 4?
Just unfortunately, the Bitter End is gonna, the big places down there, Peter Island and the Bitter End, are the ones that are going to take the longest to get back online, because there's 80 structures at the Bitter End Yacht Club, so they're unfortunately going to take them a while to get back. But Leverett Bay is beautiful. There's moorings there. There's docks there. It's a great location to have a big dinner. There's a Pusser's Landing there. I don't know if you're familiar with Pusser's rum, which was the rum of the British Admiralty for hundreds of years, and the company that makes the rum, they have different what they call Pusser's Landings in different locations, and Leverett Bay is one of them. So that's a great location for a stop for a big group.
And one thing about the hurricane a few years ago, I mean, there's a couple of places that have not opened up, but when you kind of look at what is available now and what has come online over the past few years, we've got tons of options. And I think the BVI is absolutely ready for us to be taking a cruise there. This was when Connor Blackman and I talked about where we wanted to go, this was our number 1 choice. So after that, spending at Leverett Bay there, the next day it's a kind of complete change in scenery. We head to Anegada, and this is the only coral and limestone island in the BVIs. All of the other islands you've seen, they're volcanic islands. They're large. They're much more plush. The highest point on Anegada is 28 feet. The name Anegada means drowned island in Spanish, and it's just going to give us a great variety. a day at the beach. You can see how beautiful the beaches are. And then we're going to end the day with a lobster feast dinner at the Anegada Reef Hotel, and just be dancing in the sand to a DJ. I mean, by this point, hopefully we'll all have lost track of life back here in New York and wherever we're living. And I think we'll be on island time. So Tom, Rick, anything else you want to add here?
Just that Anegada is absolutely my favorite place. I've been doing it, like I said, for 30 years. It's the one place, you leave Virgin Gorda North Sound, you come out of the buoys leading out of the sound. You have Richard Branson's Necker Island on your starboard side. You're looking out into the ocean because you cannot see Anegada when you leave North Sound, but you just put the boat on 0-10 magnetic, and it's a straight one tack up. And in about 2.5 to 3 hours, you're going to start to see the palm trees glistening on the horizon. And then it just gets bigger and bigger as you get there. And the one thing about Anegada, you're going to have to pick the buoys up because it is mostly surrounded by reef. And back in the day, you needed special permission to get there because the buoys were just little lobster pots. There were no real buoys there, but now they are there. So they're easy to find. And the thing about it is the entrance to the harbor, it's just very narrow. So if you all get there like within minutes of each other, you're going to have to follow each other like ducks up the channel because the channel's not wide enough to put more than 4 boats wide in the channel there. But it's spectacular. I feel like I'm at the end of the world when I'm out there, and I just left the whole world behind. It's just a gorgeous place to go. I love it.
It's gonna be hard to beat that summary of what it is. That's exactly what it is. It is kind of the end of the world. It's spectacular, and the lobster feast, I've done that a couple of times as well, and it's just great. So we'll have a fantastic time out there.
And we will definitely, go in an orderly fashion into Anegada. So we will have other meetings again where we'll discuss more of the details related to kind of, how going port to port and booking of docks and moorings and all of those elements that go into proper cruise planning. All right, so we've wrapped up the lobster feast at Anegada. We had a good night there on our moorings. Wake up. And now we're going to start sailing west. So it's going to be downwind, and we're going to head to Joost van Dyke. This will be the longest sail of the cruise, but it's not. None of these sails are long. So we sometimes when we do our cruises up here in the Northeast, we have some long days. This is not a long day by any means, and what we'll do is. We'll probably stop somewhere along the way, and these are things that is flexibility. Sometimes you don't have to stop. You might want to sail straight on to Joost van Dyke and go to Great Harbor and grab your mooring, or you might want to stop here and do a nature walk in Sandy Cay or do some more snorkeling at Monkey Point. So all kinds of options that we will explain in detail as we move forward. But talking about Joost van Dyke, it's probably got some of the most beautiful beaches in the BVIs. And we'll go there to Great Harbor. You can then take an easy dinghy ride over, or if you want to stay late, maybe you take a taxi over to White Bay to visit the Soggy Dollar Bar and those beautiful beaches. And then we'll have dinner at the famous Foxy's, and you can see the bottom picture here. This is Foxy's, and enjoy live music and the festivities. So the only sad thing is it's day 6.
The picture looks a lot better than what Foxy's actually is, but Foxy's is just exactly what it is. Foxy.
Okay, so day 7. So now we've kind of done the little navigation around. We're going to sail around the west end of Tortola. And then we've got a couple of options here. We'll work this out. We could go to Peter Island or head back to Norman Island and, maybe check off if you went to the caves, you didn't go to the Indians. Here's a picture of the Indians, do some final snorkeling at the Indians. And this sets you up, unfortunately, for the return to reality and getting into Road Town Monday morning. So we will then this is what we've done. And we just kind of did this together. So we kind of left, we started out Norman Island, then we talked about, you know, Peter Island or Cooper Island for a layover, I mean, the lunch or something, heading up here to Scrub Island, and then going over and then spending the night there. And then from Scrub Island, going to the Bass, and then coming up around to the North Sound, Leverick Bay, most likely, going there. Then the sail that Rick did such a great job of describing to Anegada. Then the longest sail, but a good sail downwind from Anegada back to Joost Van Dyke, Great Harbor, Soggy Dollar Bar, Foxy's, and then you, as we said, you come back here for that Sunday night. So then you have an easy trip to Road Town, because you'll need to get into Road Town no later than 10 a.m. But most likely maybe shoot to get there at 9 a.m., hop in the pool, check out, do the boat checkout and things like that. And then moorings or sun sail, they'll book you a taxi to the ferry dock. And then from there, you'll take the ferry back over to St. Thomas, and you'll take an afternoon flight home. Rick, anything you want to kind of add? We're not going over too many of the details, but anything else you want to maybe just fill in?
No, you pretty much laid it out. Just like I said, before you leave the dock, when you start the cruise, they're going to ask you, what time people's flights are home, because they'll have the taxis and everything arranged for you. And they'll tell you, what time to be on the taxi, depending on what time your flight is out, in order to catch the appropriate ferry to get you back to St. Thomas.
Thanks. So I just think when you look at this here for the veterans, for the first timers, this is going to be a magical week. I mean, we all need this week so badly after what everyone's been through for the past 13, 14 months. So a lot of thought went into picking a week that we think a lot of families can do, and we're also we're thinking about budgets too. And that's one reason why we did with Monday. You can get some better airfare rates there. And, we were able to pick up the boats. We've got the boats. So let's get into the charter boat booking process. So I already introduced Rick. So this is an eye chart, but this is what you're going to get. You can get it off the website. If you ask me, say, hey, Eric, I want to book a boat. What's the process? This is the email that you're going to get. I'm going to introduce you to Rick Van Loon and give you Rick's email and his number. And what we have done is we've reserved 20 plus boats. We've got probably, I think, 24 boats on the sheet right now. And I'll show that sheet to you. We thought about the boats that we reserved, but we can change the boats that we reserved. And you can go to either the mooring site or the sun sail site, these links. You can look at that week. You will not, we already have taken these 24 boats, off the market. They still have some other boats. So if there's another boat that you'd like versus one of these boats, we can swap boats. We've negotiated a fantastic discount. It's 10% for the group plus an additional 5%. I don't think you can get that anywhere else. And that's material. It's material. This extra 10% discount, the boats go from about $6,000 or $7,000 to say $20,000. So that extra 10% is $700 to $2,000. And basically will pay for your airfare, pay for a couple of your airfares down to the BVIs. So we've got this discount. We're requesting you booked it by June 1st. To receive that additional 10% group discount. And all you'll have to do is say you want a boat. Rick will then put your name there. He'll tell me, the club will bill you $500. So it's a non-refundable $500 to reserve one of these great boats. Then the next payment will be due August 25th, which will be 35% of the charter fee minus the $500 deposit. And the balance will be due in November of 2021. If you for some reason you cancel before you make the next payment, you just lose the $500 deposit. Another question I think will come up is what happens if, God forbid, we kind of have a setback here and we can't travel to the BVIs in February of 2022. If that happens, you'll get a credit. Same thing with the airlines. You'll get a credit, and that's not a bad thing to have as a credit, but it's looking pretty good. And the time is now for us to be booking these types of vacations. So I think that's a manageable risk. And other element I'll say is the spreadsheet here includes all the costs. It includes the charter fee, the insurance, the cruising tax, the fuel for the sailing yachts, but not for the power yachts. There's national permit fees. There's Wi-Fi costs. So the prices in the spreadsheet include all of that.
Yeah, but no alcohol, Eric. No alcohol.
Hey, who's that? Where's that? Is that?
It's Hewlett. It's Hewlett.
Yes. There'll be no alcohol. No alcohol. Absolutely.
No, I said there's no alcohol.
We might do opening drinks for you though. There might be some. We might buy you some drinks. So
You're such a good guy. No, I was saying that your spreadsheet doesn't include the alcohol that each boat is going to buy. That was my point.
there you go. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate that.
Eric, isn't there a flag officer's cocktail party somewhere in this mix?
Yes. Well, we'll work those details. We're going to work those details, Matt. Thank you. Well,
Good call, Matt.
Yeah. We will absolutely be. Maybe we'll be doing a couple of flag officer cocktail receptions. I'll tell you, the events are going to be amazing. We're going to really work hard on kind of booking some of these places. Like Dan, got a lobster feast and in Scrub Island potentially. So this is the information that you really need to know tonight, because we're gonna talk more about all the itinerary plans. But I do encourage you, boats are being booked right now. So look at the list, book your boat. Tell Rick will reserve it, and then the club will just bill you $500.
Hey, Eric, where is that spreadsheet?
Yeah, why don't I bring it up?
Sorry, I thought I missed it.
Just do a new share here.
Can I ask a question while you search?
Oh yeah, please do.
How many kids, how many families you have interested so far?
Lots of. There's gonna be so many kids there, Laura. We're starting with there's 4 girls that are going.
Your girls know very well.
We're getting a lot of inquiries. So Claudia and I'll let Claudia answer the question.
A lot. I mean, I've spoken to a whole bunch of families, and everyone's very excited, and they're very thrilled that we're doing it over February vacation week.
Yeah. Just one logistical question, because I want to book my flights. What's the earliest we can get out of St. Thomas?
On Monday,
Yeah.
to return, it'd be probably like 1:30, 1:32. But my understanding is there's no flights that are earlier than that. Rick, you want to comment?
Correct. The flights
Sure.
come out of the US going down. You can get as early as like a 6:30 flight in the morning out of Newark. I usually fly out of Newark. So the flights down leave in the morning, and the flights back come back in the afternoon. So on your return flight, any flight that you can book out of St. Thomas, we can get you there. Having brought the boat back, having gotten the proper taxi to the ferry and the proper ferry to get you back to St. Thomas, to make any flight out of St. Thomas.
Okay, sounds so easy.
There also are options. There are private water taxis that you can do. There's plenty of options that we can go into in detail. If people are worried about ferries and connections and all that, we can talk about that later.
It's a 50-minute ride from St. Thomas to Tortola. Is 50 minutes on the ferry.
So that's right. So it's getting down there. You can get in late, but it's better to take an early morning flight on that Monday, the 21st, and then getting back anytime after 1:30, you're fine out of St. Thomas to get there via the ferry. So good question. Thanks, Laura. So looking here's the list. So it's the boat type, column A. This is being posted. Jasmine, has this been posted on the website yet?
It is up. The PowerPoint's going to take a little more time, but all of this information is there.
It's up. So this is up, and these are the boats that we have available that we've reserved. And what we've thought about here, we know monohulls, they're great. They're great sailing boats, and some people are more comfortable with them. And so I think that they're very, and these boats that we picked out here, they got four cabins, 4 heads. So there's a couple of 48 footer, 51 footer. We've got a bunch of 41 foot monohulls. Sunsail moorings, they're the same company now. So I wouldn't look too much into if it's a moorings or Sunsail. What you have here is you see there are different prices for a boat that's 1 to 3 years old or over 3. I'll let Rick in a second just give his comments about the kind of the shape of these boats. But my understanding is that they're all in pretty good shape. But if you want a slightly newer boat, there is a higher cost, and then we also have a bunch of catamarans booked. So Rick gave a lot of good input on this. We know that there'll be sharing of boats. There'll be lots of kids, so we look for boats with a good number of cabins and a lot of heads. So Rick, you want to kind of give any just broad comments about the fleet we got lined up here?
Yeah, we've got a great variety here. Just you may notice, just from a marketing perspective, in the moorings fleet, the boats that are 3+ years, they're called club line boats, and the ones that are 1 to 3 years are exclusives. In the Sunsail, it's Premier for the newer boats, and it's Classic for the older boats. That's what's listed in the spreadsheet here. There's one, I think, Exclusive Plus, which is something that's less than a year old. But other than that, it should be pretty self-explanatory here.
And you can go to the website, you can look at every one of these boats. If the boats, one thing, if you just go to the moorings website, you don't have to go to that week, and you can look at any one of these models. Great pictures, great information about them. Do that. I encourage you to do that. And then I encourage you to reach out to Rick with additional questions. And I definitely encourage you to reach out to Rick and just say, I want that boat. And we'd like to get all of these boats booked over the next couple of weeks.
Eric, are the prices that you have listed there inclusive of the discount, or the discount comes off those prices?
That's the discount listed.
Yes.
It's inclusive. Yeah.
Includes the discount already.
Correct.
Right.
Thank you.
Good question.
Eric, Scott Florio here. What happens if you decide you want to change boats after you've locked in a boat? Is that a possibility, or are you basically left up to how many boats are left?
As long as the boat's available, we'll be happy to flip it. It's all about availability. And like Eric said, if you see a boat that is not on the list, if you happen to go to the moorings or the Sunsail site and you say, hey, I'm fell in love with this boat, if that boat's available, we'll try our best to get you that boat as well.
Thank you.
A great question, Scott. And just Rick we've got incredible flexibility here, because as we said, this page has a lot of information. If you find another boat that you want, we can switch it. And you're right. If you book one of these boats, and then you say, okay, you know what? Now some other people are going with me, or there's not as many people going with me, and there's still a boat available, we can switch the contract, and you can port that $500 deposit over. And then yes, if somebody else then takes the boat and for some reason you can't go, then we'll transfer that $500 deposit. I think this is fantastic that it's just it's May 13th. We've got the fleet booked, and you can reserve a boat for $500, and then the next payment is not due until August.
Eric, are you going to make the spreadsheet available, or the PowerPoint available?
The PowerPoint and the spreadsheet are going on the website tonight. And so yes, and then we've got this great, we got this great 3-minute video that Jasmine sent out today. You'll see that Rick is in the video. And that's a good video to show your crew. That gives you a very good feel for what this trip is going to be all about.
Hey, Eric, where on the website is it?
It's under Commodore's Rally. Good question.
So
let's,
sailing and then Commodore's Rally.
yeah, and I'll do, there's two things with that question. I'm gonna go to the website for a second. Because one thing I do want to highlight to everybody, I want to highlight this great spring cruise outing. I don't know if you saw it on deck yesterday, but on June 12th, we're going to the Mets game. We're going to the World's Fair Marina. We've got 26 people already signed up. There's availability on some of the motorboats, so you can hitch a ride. Jeff K let me know that he's got like 10 spots available on his boat. So I encourage you to check that out. So let's go back here and just show you where it is. So sailing, Commodore's Rally, go there. We got the video, and then we'll be getting these other documents posted there. So Jasmine, they'll be posted. Where are we going to put that? We're going to put the spreadsheet somewhere, right, Jasmine?
It's below the video. I've reached out to support about why the banner is blocking the rest of the page, but it's up right now.
Okay, so we'll get that fixed, and we'll probably have some similar tabs like we do for the annual cruise.
Eric, I'm not sure if I want to ask this question, but is there cell service covered?
You've got, actually in your fee, there's a Wi-Fi service, so you have Wi-Fi available there.
Oh,
Rick,
okay, great.
you want to comment more on that?
Yeah, we just decided to include it because most people I figured they'd want to maybe stay in touch. So we just included it in the price of the boats.
Wonderful.
We got a great turnout tonight, Commodore Black. We have 44 people. I just noticed we got 44 participants on this call, and we'll if we need to go after more boats, we can go after more boats. But let's. So I appreciate everybody's time tonight. I can't wait for this. I can't wait to bring my family down there and be with all of you, and go on this magical trip. So, Commodore.
So yeah, listen, book now, book early. Airfare is probably, goes up every day as seats start getting eaten up. I booked mine the other day, and there's lots of options to get down there, as Eric said earlier on, and it's going to be a fantastic trip. So we might need to get more boats if everybody on this call is very interested, and if everybody is, it's going to be even more special. So thanks everybody for joining, and Eric, again, I can't thank you enough, and Rick for putting this all together, and Jasmine for doing all the, I'm going to call her, she's doing all the back room work, getting everything on the website so we can all get signed up and get going. So thank you all.
Thanks, and I'll say so. And you've got you all know my email. For some reason, you just want something urgently. I can Eric@cpa.com. Send me a note. We'll get this information out to you. I'm here to answer questions. And then I'll just bring this back on the screen one more time. You've got Rick's information is pretty easy. It's info@sailtruenorth.com. You can't wait. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Sorry. Rick's information is info@sailtruenorth.com, and that's his cell number. So thanks, Rick, for your support, Claudia, in the cruise committee, and look forward to advancing this. So you guys all have a great night. I could talk about this for another hour.
Thank you, Eric and Rick, for putting it all together. It looks really good.
Yeah, thanks, Eric and Claudia.
Too bad that we need to wait for 9 months.
Well, he did offer some other options. He already pre-sold obviously the Met game. He didn't go to the summer cruise, the annual cruise, which I'm a little surprised he didn't give a plug. But I might as well now. That's not to be missed either. So hopefully we see you all there as well.
Thank you. No, the annual cruise, absolutely, and that's all on the website. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Eric, for doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.